Asian palm civet. The Asian palm civet, Paradoxurus hermaphroditus, is a viverrid native to South and Southeast Asia. Since 2008, it is IUCN Red Listed as least concern as it accommodates to a broad range of habitats. It is widely distributed with large populations that in 2008 were thought unlikely to be declining. In Indonesia, it is threatened by poaching and illegal wildlife trade. Buyers use it for the increasing production of kopi luwak. Characteristics. The Asian palm civet's long, stocky body is covered with coarse, shaggy hair that is usually grayish in color. It has a white mask across the forehead, a small white patch under each eye, a white spot on each side of the nostrils, and a narrow dark line between the eyes. The muzzle, ears, lower legs, and distal half of the tail are black, with 3 rows of black markings on the body. Its head-to-body length is about 53 cm, 21 in, with a 48 cm, 19 in, long unringed tail. It weighs 2 to 5 kilograms, 4.4 to 11.0 pounds. Its anal scent glands emit a nauseating secretion as a chemical defense when threatened or upset. Distribution and habitat. The Asian palm civet is native to India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Singapore, Peninsular Malaysia, Sabah, Sarawak, Brunei Darussalam, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, China, the Philippines, and the Indonesian islands of Sumatra, Java, Kalimantan, Bayan, and Siberut. It was introduced to Irian Jaya, the Lesser Sunda Islands, Maluku, Sulawesi, and Japan. Its presence in Papua New Guinea is uncertain. It usually inhabits primary forests, but also occurs at lower densities in secondary and selectively logged forest. It is also present in parks and suburban gardens with mature fruit trees, fig trees, and undisturbed vegetation. Its sharp claws allow climbing of trees and house gutters. In most parts of Sri Lanka, palm civets are considered a nuisance since they litter in ceilings and attics of common households, and make loud noises fighting and moving about at night. Evolution. Palawan and Borneo specimens are genetically close, so the Asian palm civet on Palawan Island might have dispersed from Borneo during the Pleistocene. It is possible that humans later introduced Asian palm civet into other Philippines islands. Behavior and ecology. The Asian palm civet is thought to lead a solitary lifestyle, except for brief periods during mating. It is both terrestrial and arboreal, showing a nocturnal activity pattern with peaks between late evening until after midnight. It is usually active between dawn and 4 o'clock in the morning, but less active during nights when the moon is brightest. Scent marking behavior and olfactory response to various excretions such as urine, feces, and secretion of the perineal gland differs in males and females. Scent marking by dragging the perineal gland and leaving the secretion on the substrate was most commonly observed in animals of both sexes. The duration of the olfactory response varied and depended both on the sex and excretion type. The palm civet can distinguish animal species, sex, familiar and unfamiliar individuals by the odor of the perineal gland secretion. Feeding and diet. The Asian palm civet is an omnivore feeding foremost on fruits such as berries and pulpy fruits. It thus helps to maintain tropical forest ecosystems via seed dispersal. It eats chiku, mango, rambutan, and coffee, but also small mammals and insects. It plays an important role in the natural regeneration of Pinanga Kulii and P. savanna palms at Gunung Ji Pangrango National Park. It also feeds on palm flower sap, which when fermented becomes palm wine, a sweet liquor, toddy. Because of this habit, it is called the toddy cat. Reproduction. Due to its solitary and nocturnal habits, little is known about its reproductive processes and behavior. In March 2010, a pair of palm civets was observed when attempting to mate. The pair copulated on the tree branch for about 5 minutes. During that period, the male mounted the female 4 to 5 times. After each mounting, the pair separated for a few moments and repeated the same procedure. After completion of mating, the pair frolicked around for some time, moving from branch to branch on the tree. The animals separated after about 6 minutes and moved off to different branches and rested there. Threats. Hunting. In some parts of its range, Asian palm civets are hunted for bushmeat in the pet trade. In southern China it is extensively hunted and trapped. Dead individuals were found with local tribes where it is killed for its meat, in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, and Agra, Uttar Pradesh, between 1998 and 2003 in India. The oil extracted from small pieces of the meat kept in linseed oil in a closed earthen pot and regularly sunned, is used indigenously as a cure for scabies. Kopi luwak. Kopi luwak is coffee prepared using coffee beans that have been subjected to ingestion and fermentation in the gastrointestinal tract of the Asian palm civet, which is called luwak in Indonesia. Caffeine content in both Arabica and Robusta luwak coffee is lower than in unfermented coffee. Large deformation mechanical rheology testing revealed that civet coffee beans are harder and more brittle in nature than their control counterparts, indicating that digestive juices enter into the beans and modify the microstructural properties of these beans. Proteolytic enzymes cause substantial breakdown of storage proteins. Kopi luwak is traditionally made from the feces of wild civets. However, due to it becoming a trendy drink, civets are being increasingly captured from the wild and fed coffee beans to mass-produce this blend. Many of these civets are housed in battery cage systems which have been criticized on animal welfare grounds. The impact of the demand for this fashionable coffee on wild palm civet populations is yet unknown but may constitute a significant threat. In Indonesia, the demand for Asian palm civets appears to be in violation of the quota set for pets. Conservation. Paradoxurus hermaphroditus is listed on CITES Appendix 3. There is a quota in place in Indonesia, precluding trade from certain areas, setting a cap on the number of civets that can be taken from the wild, and allowing only 10% of those removed from the wild to be sold domestically. This quota is largely ignored by hunters and traders and is not enforced by authorities. This species has become popular as a pet in Indonesia in recent years, causing a rise in the numbers found in markets in Java and Bali. The majority of the animals sold as pets originate from the wild. The high numbers of animals seen, lack of adherence to the quota and lack of enforcement of the laws are causes for conservation concern. Taxonomy. Since Peter Simon Pallas's first description published in 1777, a significant number of subspecies have been described between 1820 and 1992. They are listed according to the year of first description. The taxonomic status of these subspecies has not yet been evaluated. In culture. In Philippine mythology, the upland Bagobo people believe in a being named Civet was said to be a huge and powerful palm civet who can talk. Civet defeated various monsters, including the one-eyed monster Okasi and the Busa beings who guarded the tree of gold, which had the flower of gold that he sought. He was eventually transformed into a handsome young man, and married the person to whom he gave the flower of gold.